Do you believe that even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you can regain the strength, flexibility, and energy of your youth? This video will share the inspiring story of Jack Thompson, a man who made a remarkable health recovery at the age of 102, simply by following 6 science-backed habits. From hot and cold therapy, muscle recovery drinks, strategic nutrition, deeper sleep, gentle isometric exercises, to daily stretching. All helped him rebuild his body and live healthier than ever before. If you're feeling tired, sluggish, or want to live a more active and vibrant life each day, this could be the starting point you need. These habits are easy to follow, suitable for all ages, and you can begin today. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss upcoming content. Drop a 1 if you're interested in this topic, or a 0 if you'd like to see some improvements. Now, let's begin the journey of transformation together. Habit 1. The power of hot and cold showers. The muscle awakening. Shock for Jack Thompson, a man well into his twilight years, once plagued by chronic pain and lingering fatigue, never imagined that the turning point in his journey to reclaim health would begin with a bathtub. For years, he lived in a sluggish state, his joints feeling rusted, and every morning felt like an uphill battle. When a physical therapist suggested hot and cold therapy, Jack initially scoffed. A shower? What could that possibly change? But he decided to give it a try, knowing that if nothing changed, he would remain trapped in the stagnation of old age. So, each morning, as the first rays of sun peeked through the mist, Jack entered the bathroom as if stepping into a sacred ritual. He began with hot water, not scalding, just warm enough to let the heat seep into his muscles, waking them from a long winter sleep. In that moment, he wasn't just bathing, he was meditating. The warmth felt like a gentle embrace from an old friend, relaxing and reviving his body. Then, with a deep breath, he switched to cold water. The chill hit suddenly, like a gust from the Arctic. His heart pounded, his blood vessels constricted, and his entire body jolted awake. At first, the shift was shocking, like leaping from a cozy armchair onto an icy surface. But strangely, his body began to respond positively. Each shower was no longer a challenge, but a vivid experience where he could feel the blood circulating vigorously, his joints lubricated, and his mind unusually alert. In the weeks that followed, something miraculous began to happen. Jack no longer needed an hour to warm up in the morning. He stood up with ease, walked steadily, and his once aching muscles regained their flexibility. A study in the European Journal of Applied Physiology supports this. Contrast showers can boost blood circulation by up to 35%, reduce inflammation, and enhance recovery speed, critical for someone Jack's age, whose body no longer heals as quickly as it once did. Jack didn't need statistics to believe. It was something he felt every day, in every step, in the newfound fluidity of once stiff arms. What's fascinating is that not only did his body change, but his spirit was reborn too. Hot and cold showers became a symbol of opposites in harmony: heat and chill, relaxation and stimulation, release and awakening. He learned patience and how to embrace discomfort in pursuit of long-term ease. He no longer feared challenge. From bathing, he moved to light yoga, then longer walks. Not because he was forced to, but because he wanted to. He wanted to live, truly live. A life not just of existence, but of savoring every moment, every step, every breath. Even as he felt the difference, Jack knew this was only the beginning. And that's what excited him. Rather than seeing old age as an ending, he saw it as a new chapter, one where self-care, awareness, and discipline could unlock a second life. And it all started with something seemingly small, a bathtub, where his muscles were awakened and his trust in his body was reignited from deep within. Habit 2. The Ancestors' Strengthening Drink. A powerful recipe. After experiencing noticeable changes from his hot and cold shower routine, Jack Thompson began to feel a quiet revival stirring within his body. However, he also understood that his recovery journey couldn't rely on just one method. His muscles had started to respond, but his vital energy, the feeling of being truly healthy, had yet to fully return. One peaceful afternoon in the countryside, while visiting an old friend, a casual conversation revealed a secret that seemed forgotten by time. A traditional drink, believed to be the source of strength for hard-working laborers and resilient warriors for centuries. The friend spoke with deep pride about his grandfather, who lived to 90 years old and never stopped working the fields. He always started his day with a cup of ancestors' energy, he said, laughing. I never saw him complain of fatigue. The story captivated Jack. Could this simple recipe be the missing key in his recovery journey? Curious and hopeful, Jack listened closely to the ingredients mentioned, each one not only rich in nutrients, but also a symbol of traditional strength. He decided to try it, not just to imitate, but to revive the spirit of those who came before him to connect with timeless strength. He began by warming a cup of oat milk, making sure not to boil it, but to keep it at a comfortable temperature. The gentle, smooth aroma of the milk brought a sense of calm, like a spring morning. Jack stirred in a spoonful of peanut butter, not only a source of protein and healthy fats, but also a symbol of endurance. He then added pure cocoa powder, the deep brown hue of the earth, filled with antioxidants to protect and restore the body from within. But what really excited Jack were the next ingredients. A bit of ginger, spicy and vibrant, not only warmed his body but reminded him of the ginger tea his grandfather used to brew on winter mornings to keep warm. Then he added turmeric, the liquid gold praised by both ancient healing traditions and modern research for its anti-inflammatory properties and its ability to regenerate muscle tissue. To complete this powerful blend, Jack stirred in a spoonful of pure honey. The sweet, subtle taste spread throughout, merging with each ingredient as if bringing comfort and natural energy. As he stirred, a unique fragrance filled the kitchen, enveloping the space with warmth and depth, as though he was calling upon the life force from the earth and sky to converge. Jack wasn't in a hurry. He sipped slowly each morning, as if meditating with the drink. In the first few days, he only felt a gentle and soothing effect. But after a week, he felt as though an electric charge had awakened in every fiber of his muscles. The familiar lethargy began to fade, replaced by strength in his hands and flexibility in his steps. Even more surprisingly, his mind became clear and sharp. Each morning, instead of a heavy feeling, he eagerly prepared the drink, as if strengthening himself and connecting with the old memories that he was holding on to. This drink was not merely a nourishing mixture. It was a bridge between the past and present, between tradition and modern science. And though Jack knew there was still a long road ahead, he felt more confident than ever. Each sip served as a reminder. He wasn't just restoring his physical health, he was rekindling the spirit of those generations who overcame hardships with perseverance and faith. And this, more than any ingredient in the drink, was the true source of his strength. Habit 3. The power of deep sleep. After diligently following the hot-cold shower routine and the traditional recovery drink, Jack Thompson began to notice positive changes in his body. He felt stronger, his exercise sessions were easier, and his stamina had significantly increased. However, something still seemed incomplete. On some mornings, he woke up feeling fatigued, his muscles not fully recovered, as if the efforts of the previous day hadn't been fully compensated. Jack started to suspect that there was something else hindering his recovery, an important piece of the puzzle he had yet to recognize. During a routine checkup, his longtime doctor gently made a remark that caught Jack off guard and made him think deeply. "Jack," the doctor said, "most of the muscle regeneration and physical recovery happens while you're asleep." The doctor explained that it is during deep sleep that the body releases growth hormones and testosterone, two key factors for building and maintaining muscle mass. Without quality sleep, muscle recovery would be much slower and even interrupted. According to data from the National Sleep Foundation, sleep deprivation can reduce muscle strength by up to 20% and hinder essential tissue regeneration. Realizing this truth, Jack decided to seriously change his evening habits. He started by cutting out blue light, the light emitted from phones and TVs, at least 1 hour before bed. Instead, he turned off the main lights, leaving only a soft, warm glow from a nightlight. Every night, he brewed a cup of herbal tea made from chamomile and lavender. Its gentle aroma helped him relax, as if opening the door to a peaceful sleep. But Jack didn't stop there. He set up a new ritual. Each night before going to bed, he spent 5 minutes practicing deep breathing, slowly inhaling, holding the breath for a moment, and then exhaling slowly. This seemingly simple action helped release the day's tension, calm his mind, and guide his body into an ideal resting state. Within less than a week, the results surprised even Jack. He woke up without the need for an alarm clock, his mind sharp and his body light as if reborn. The muscle groups that usually ached now recovered quickly, becoming more flexible and full of vitality. Sleep had become his silent trainer, helping his muscles grow without him having to sweat a single drop in the gym. Jack understood that sleep was no longer a forgotten period between 2 days. It had become an essential foundation in his journey to regain his health. It was like properly charging a machine to make it run efficiently. And it was his care for sleep, through respect and proactivity, that opened a new chapter in his recovery process. Still, Jack felt there was one more element waiting to be discovered. A final, powerful, and essential habit that could help him reach the peak of physical strength and vitality. But this time, he no longer worried. He knew he was on the right path. Habit 4. The secret of movement to reactivate muscles. After consistently following the hot-cold shower therapy, using the recovery drink, and building a foundation of quality sleep, Jack Thompson felt that his recovery journey was slowly showing results. However, he understood that in order to truly regain muscle strength and improve overall mobility, simply resting and recovering wasn't enough. He needed a form of exercise that was safe, age-appropriate, but still effective enough to activate the deep muscle groups that were slowly sleeping. It was at that moment that Jack was introduced to a form of exercise that seemed simple yet incredibly powerful: isometric exercises. The expert explained, "Before considering weightlifting or high-intensity training, the body, especially in older adults, needs to relearn how to maintain stable strength. Isometric exercises, where you tense or hold your muscles in a contracted state for a few seconds without moving, are key to restarting the deep muscle fibers that are rarely used." This advice struck a chord with Jack. He no longer craved intense workouts, but now sought to rediscover the feeling of controlling his body in a sustainable and safe way. Starting with the wall sit exercise, Jack stood with his back against the wall, slowly lowering his body into a seated position and holding it for 30 seconds. The first few seconds were truly a challenge. The feeling of his legs shaking slightly and his thighs warming up made him question if he had enough strength to sustain it. But after only a few repetitions, Jack began to notice a change. His legs became steadier, and the feeling of standing up from a chair was no longer as heavy as before. At the same time, he was guided to another simple exercise: squeezing a rolled-up towel for a few seconds. It may have seemed basic, but this exercise awakened the small muscles in his hands and arms, a region that many older adults often lose control over. With each squeeze of the towel, Jack not only felt his arm muscles becoming firmer, but also regained confidence in performing activities like opening a bottle, lifting objects, or simply pushing himself up from a seated position. Not stopping at just 2 basic exercises, Jack also incorporated some additional movements, such as tightening his abdominal muscles while standing or holding a knee plank position for a short period of time. These isometric exercises required no equipment, placed no strain on the joints, and could be done right at home. The important thing was that they helped increase blood circulation, tone muscles, and improve the stability of the knees, shoulders, and spine, areas that are often prone to degeneration with age. According to the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, these exercises are particularly effective in muscle recovery for older adults without causing injury. After just 3 weeks, Jack began to notice a distinct difference. Each time he got out of bed in the morning, it was no longer a battle against stiffness. It became a smooth, easy moment. His body was more flexible, his balance had improved, and most importantly, he was gradually regaining his independence in daily life. No longer needing help going up and down stairs or assistance with dressing, Jack felt like he was stepping back into a phase of vitality. Although the results were encouraging, Jack didn't become complacent. He understood that recovery was a long and gradual journey, but now he had faith. His body still had the capacity to adapt and grow. More importantly, he knew that he had unlocked a vital part of the recovery puzzle: intelligent movement, just the right amount, at the right time. And Jack also realized that to complete this process, there were still 2 more habits to explore and incorporate into his daily life. The final pieces to building a strong, resilient, and vibrant body in his later years. Habit 5. Strategic nutrition to boost strength. Although Jack Thompson had built a solid recovery foundation through hot-cold shower therapy, recovery drinks, quality sleep, and effective isometric exercises, he still felt that his muscles needed internal support, some living fuel to continue progressing. He realized that no matter how hard he tried, without providing the right fuel, the recovery process could not be optimized. During a routine consultation, Jack's doctor emphasized, "The body can't rebuild a house without enough bricks and cement. For muscles, protein and essential nutrients are those materials. And as you age, the body's ability to absorb and synthesize protein decreases significantly." Realizing he needed to adjust his diet, Jack began to make strategic changes. First, he added high-quality protein sources. Every morning began with a simple yet effective meal: boiled eggs and a protein smoothie made from pea protein powder. Eggs contain leucine, a vital amino acid that promotes muscle synthesis, while the smoothie provides energy and easily digestible plant-based protein. Not stopping there, Jack incorporated salmon and sardines into his dinners a few times a week. These fish are not only rich in protein, but also contain omega-3 fatty acids, valuable nutrients that help reduce inflammation and support faster muscle regeneration, while also offering excellent benefits for joint health. To ensure a diverse range of plant-based protein, he added lentils, green beans, and quinoa to his meals. These foods not only enriched his intake of essential amino acids, but also provided iron, a key mineral that helps transport oxygen to muscles, improving their function and speeding up recovery after workouts. In addition, Jack didn't forget healthy fats. Each day, he consumed half an avocado or a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, a source of unsaturated fat that enhances the absorption of vitamins A, D, E, and K, while protecting muscle cells from damage caused by free radicals. Another crucial factor in Jack's diet was smart carbohydrates, foods that maintain stable energy levels without causing sudden spikes in blood sugar. He prioritized complex carbs like sweet potatoes, oatmeal, and ripe bananas, nourishing foods that helped replenish energy quickly after workouts and prevent feelings of exhaustion. Moreover, Jack paid attention to staying hydrated and added electrolytes through coconut water or water mixed with a bit of sea salt and lemon. A simple way to help the body absorb nutrients more effectively and maintain muscle resilience. After a few weeks of sticking to his new diet, Jack noticed a significant change. His body no longer felt fatigued after workouts, and the sluggishness he once experienced gradually disappeared. His exercises became easier, his muscles recovered faster, and there was a noticeable increase in muscle tone. But perhaps most importantly, Jack's spirits were lifted. He no longer viewed eating as a burden, but as an integral part of actively caring for his health. However, Jack understood that this journey wasn't over. Although he had nearly fully recovered, he still had one final habit to adopt, a core habit to protect all the progress he had made. This was the key to maintaining sustained strength, not just in the months ahead, but throughout the remaining golden years of his life. The final habit: flexibility as the key to longevity. Jack Thompson had undergone an incredible journey of rejuvenation, going from fatigue and weakness to regaining strength, resilience, and trust in his body. However, to maintain these results in the long term, he knew that muscles not only need strength but also flexibility. In one final consultation with his physical therapist, Jack was given an important piece of advice: stretching, a seemingly simple habit, could be the boundary between a life of independence and the risk of diminished mobility as age advances. Jack, it's not just strong muscles that keep you standing, the therapist said. It's your flexibility and ability to control movement that determines whether you can continue moving comfortably and safely. Inspired by this advice, Jack began incorporating stretching exercises into his daily routine. Every morning after waking up and every evening before bed, he set aside 15 minutes to stretch, relax, and restore balance to his body. He started with gentle movements like calf and thigh stretches while seated, which improved flexibility in his legs and reduced the risk of cramps, something that had previously forced him to stop mid-walk. Next, he did circular shoulder rotations, gradually increasing speed to loosen the shoulder muscles, reduce neck tension, and aid arm movement. One of his favorite exercises was the forward lean while sitting to touch his knees, which not only relaxed his lower back but also significantly improved his sitting and standing posture. In addition to these basic stretches, Jack also learned deep breathing techniques and full-body relaxation from senior-friendly yoga stretch sessions. These movements, combined with rhythmic breathing, provided him with a sense of calm while improving his balance and body awareness. After just a few weeks, Jack noticed a marked difference. His joints were more flexible and his steps were lighter and more stable. Twisting, bending down, or reaching up were no longer challenges. Most notably, he felt that not only was he recovering, but he was also slowing down the aging process of his body. Scientific studies have shown that maintaining a regular stretching routine not only helps prevent injury, but also reduces the risk of falls in older adults by up to 40%. A remarkable statistic for those wishing to remain independent in their later years. For Jack, this was not just a number. It was freedom. Freedom to take walks in the park every evening, to stand up without assistance, to fully experience every moment of life. Now, at the age of 102, Jack is not just a healthy senior. He is a living example of the spirit that it's never too late to change. What was once seen as inevitable signs of aging, weakness, loss of balance, muscle atrophy, has now become the motivation for his daily training. From the first steps in the hot water bath to every deep breath during stretching, Jack has shown that the body can recover, adapt, and grow stronger regardless of age. And it is these simple yet consistent habits that have opened a new chapter for him. A chapter of freedom, energy, and sustainable vitality.